There we go. All right, guys, welcome to the new time of our live Zoom session, which is 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock Arizona time, Central Mountain Standard Time, and then we have 7 o'clock for Eastern Time. It is January 28th, and we're going to go ahead and get started by looking at coin market cap. So this morning, I actually woke up really early at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I went back to sleep and I didn't wake up to much later, so I didn't do a morning update. But I did look at the coin market cap briefly, and we have gained about $2 billion since this morning. And also the amount of red that we're in now is a lot less than we are. We cut it by half of where we were on some of these coins since this morning. The 24-hour, the best performer in the past 24 hours, earlier this morning, there was only 2 in the green. Everything else was in the red. We had R was actually number 1 this morning. Now AOA is number 1 with 11%, R with 7.9%, and Waves moved up to 6.22% in the green. Man, I tell you, Waves is really strong. I just keep on seeing so much positive stuff going on with Waves. Total market cap, almost 114 billion. 24-hour volume, almost $22 billion. Let's look at Bitcoin on the 1-hour time chart. So we finally were able to break the 9 EMA on the 1-hour time frame, which is a really bullish move, being that we've been below it ever since we had that drop last night. So we were really separating ourselves. The price action was really separating from the 9 and some of these lower candles that came down here. We went all the way down on Binance. We went down to 33.80, and I think on some other exchanges we went down a little bit further. I'm not sure what those are. I think I heard some people say 32.50 or something like that. But on Binance, we're finally above the 9 EMA. We were able to close. This candle just opened 4 minutes ago, and it looks like we're pushing up. MACD is looking great. MACD, you can see here, we're bottomed out, had a nice bullish crossing right about this candle here, and we're moving really nice up on the RSI. We have we're at 40 points on the RSI, and we still have plenty of room on the MACD. We're way below the bearish side of the oscillator, so it gives us plenty of room here on the MACD to move up, which is a really nice sign. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin, we landed right here on this support. So this was a prior support back in here. So this acted as support, resistance, support, a lot of resistance here. We dipped just slightly below it, but now we're back up. So we're climbing back up, but we are still below the 9 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. So we still have some work ahead of us. We've got to first break this gap. So we know that this gap line more than likely is going to act as resistance unless we get a really big surge that'll break through it. More often than not, we see us getting rejected on these gap lines. So we'll see if we're able to have enough thrust to not only break through the gap line, but also break this 9 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. If we can accomplish that on the 4-hour time frame, I think we'll start seeing some really bullish movement to the upside if we can crack that 9 on the 4-hour time frame. Looking at the 12-hour time frame on Bitcoin, we landed here just below the range. So we've been on the 12-hour time frame. We've been inside of this range here. So we have been inside of this tight range in here. We didn't break too far below it, as you can see here, and we're already climbing ourselves back into this range. I really would have liked to see a much more deeper correction on Bitcoin, but it doesn't look like there's going to be, hopefully there's some more coming up. I mean, the MACD is still looking bearish, and this is a 12-hour time frame, so it's going to take a lot of volume to really start turning this around just to get it back to neutral. RSI looks good, but that's only reflecting the latest candle. So you can see today was nice and bullish. A lot of volume came in, so we have some positive volume here on the RSI and on the volume bar on the 12-hour time frame. But what I'm really looking forward is on the MACD. The MACD is gonna hold a lot more weight when we see this turning bullish. that means that there was quite a bit of liquidity coming in order to move the 12-hour time frame. The RSI is very easy to move, much easier than it is for the MACD, as it's just representing the candle. This is representing more of the momentum and the liquidity of the market. So I really want to see that turn around. But I'm very surprised that we did not fall deeper. As we know, most of us are expecting, based on the calculation that we did with Mr. Morrow a couple of weeks ago for the Lunar New Year, coming up on after the Lunar New Year that starts February 5th. And I'm not sure how long it lasts, but I saw a conversation a couple of days ago with JP Latour and I believe Mr. Mo, and they were talking about that they closed down for 2 weeks. So I think the Lunar New Year is a big event that lasts for a couple of weeks, from what I gathered from the conversation that I saw on Discord, but I'm not quite sure. But if that's the case, I do still expect to see a move to the upside. For those that have not seen the Zoom session that we did a couple of weeks ago where we covered that, just to give you a quick brief breakdown, is that in 2015, 2016, 2017, we saw a 40+% move to the upside right after the Lunar New Year, and in 2018 we saw a 98% increase. So, you know, for the past 4 years, we've had a nice move to the upside right after the Lunar New Year. So I am expecting that to happen. And that's the reason I wanted to see a little bit more of a correction, because if we can see a little bit more downside, that gives us better opportunities to really go in and load up for this move to the upside that we're expecting. So hopefully we're going to trickle down a little bit more, but you know, that's hard to say. Let's look at next coin. My favorite altcoin is now TRX. So that's going to be my tab right next to Bitcoin. Used to be Ethereum. Now it is TRX. So I'm becoming a TRX fanboy, but I will not put that on my name, just so you guys know. I won't put in parentheses TRX for life. I'm not putting a tramp stamp tattoo of TRX, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But I do like, look at this. TRX is always moving to the green. It's just constantly in a bullish state. No matter what Bitcoin's doing, Bitcoin drops. Yeah, this suffered a little bit of a drop, but look at it. I mean, it's I think the best performer right now in recovery wise since the drop that we just finished having overnight. I think it's the one that's pretty much recovering the best out of the higher market cap shit coins. So I'm not talking about like those, you know, 1 or 2 million market cap coins. Those don't really count because it doesn't take much to move those. But something that's worth $1 billion or more, those shit coins take a much more. It takes a lot more liquidity to move those. So Tron being one of those shit coins is just unbelievable. I absolutely love it. We are 2 hours into. Since we've broken the 9 EMA, we're now getting rejected on the 30 EMA, but I do imagine that we're going to break through that and start heading north. Look at the MACD on this here, nice bullish crossing. I've been away from the charts all afternoon. If not, I probably would have bought right when it broke the 9 EMA, but I have not gotten into this one yet. I should have. I should load up. Let me look at the bigger time frame. Let me see how this looks here. 12-hour time frame still doesn't look too good though. 12-hour time frame, we're having a bearish crossover on the 12-hour time frame. RSI 56 points. I might wait just a little bit more confirmation. 6-hour, the 4-hour starting to turn, so that's a little bit bullish. You can see here we're starting to want to turn neutral, breaking right here on the midpoint between the bullish and bearish side of the oscillators on the MACD. So it is looking good. We still have to break the 9 EMA, however, on the 4-hour time frame. So we want to look out for that on TRX. Looking at Bitcoin Cash ABC, we have here, we're finally above the 9 EMA. So we're above the 9 EMA. This is the first candle above the 9 EMA on the 1-hour time frame here. We had a nice bullish crossover on the MACD. I did buy this morning on here, so I bought this candle here earlier today, and unfortunately it dropped more, and now we're above. I'm about what $1.10, $1.10 above my entry. I bought last night, then I bought again, and I put an announcement. I sent an announcement today. As soon as I bought, I put an announcement that I'm buying more Bitcoin Cash, SV, and XLM. And so I bought this one here. So at least we're about $1.14 above what I bought. Now we are looking at Bitcoin Cash SV. 3 hours have now been above the 9 EMA. This one as well. So I bought it in here. I bought it on the confirmation on this one here. I should have waited till we broke the 9 EMA, but I did not, and that was my fault. And we did fall down here, but luckily we came right back up here. And I bought also yesterday when I did the announcement. The chart is on the swing trade section of our Discord. So this is going to be a swing trade for me, guys. I am not trying to flip this anytime. Yes, nice. Yes, thank you for that. Whoever put that annotation on there, a double bottom. Yes, it looks really, really good. That's a much better confirmation than getting in when I went in. Remember, guys, this is a swing trade for me. So when I do a swing trade, I bought something, it drops. I bought some more. I'm not too worried about it. I feel that even though the Bitcoin futures announcement is for Bitcoin Cash ABC, I'm hoping, and I'm not taking a very big position on SV, but I'm taking a position nonetheless, just because I feel that if ABC runs, I'm curious, and this is just a 50-50 gamble for me, that Craig White is going to want to see this move as well, and he's going to put some money into it. Or at bare minimum, when the market turns around in February, which I do see an increase coming in February, that we see this run some more. So I did take another position in here. XLM, I mean, I just had to. This big falling wedge. It had a falling wedge that I posted in our Discord. It broke out of that wedge and came came down more. I bought last night right in here. Now I am a little bit underneath my trade, about 0.5% underneath my trade that I got in yesterday. But I do see this really is going to start moving to the upside. I mean, we are just floored out here on XLM. And XLM, remember, is still one of the 2 coins still needed to get listed on Coinbase. And I'm hoping that the move that we're going to have to the upside in February, we're going to see some love here, being that we had such a big drop. So I'm really, really hoping that this is another swing trade for me, that we at least come back to this level here, back into the hopefully 10, 11 cents, or even back into here, excuse me, into the mid-teens price range when we move up in February. So I'm definitely got some more XLM on that. I did not buy this morning, however. I already bought Bitcoin Cash and SV. I did not go into XLM. It's one of the ones that I did not get into this morning. When I woke up, this is what I woke up to. It wasn't just it just didn't seem, I don't know, there just wasn't enough in here for me to really feel confident. But the one what I bought last night, I'm almost, like I said, I'm about 0.5% under on it, so it's not too bad. Looking at XRP. XRP, I forgot to set my alert for this, actually filled all the gaps already. So XRP had gaps all the way down here at 28 cents, 28.9, and it did fill it back in a couple of days ago. And actually, what was it? It filled it oh, this was today. Oh, wow, I didn't know I filled it today. I just saw this a little while ago and I actually posted it. So this was today. We were able to fill the last gap on XRP. So now look at this. I didn't put usually I put a green support line, but when I did this chart, this chart actually started way back, and I just started adding to it as we opened up more gaps. But I didn't put a green bounce, but you can see here right after it filled, it's now bouncing to the upside. Now we are now approaching the 30 EMA. We're very strong move for the past 5 hours above the 9 EMA. So I think we're going to start seeing some momentum back into XRP. I have not taken a position on XRP yet, and I might after this, after I'm done with the Zoom session. I really like the way XRP is looking. Let's look at NEO. NEO is looking very nice. A lot of these altcoins are having some really nice recovery from yesterday's drop. So, you know, the MACDs are looking good. The RSIs are looking good. We're breaking above the 9 EMA. Right now, because of the drop that we have, the one EMA you guys want to look for is going to be the 30 EMA. That's going to be our next hurdle to cross is going to be the 30 on just about all of these altcoins. Since we had such a hard fall last night. It wasn't too hard, but it was hard enough to fall below all the EMAs. So obviously on the way back up, the 30 after climbing above the 9 is going to be our very next hurdle to cross. So we're really going to have to see some bullish moves. But the nice thing about this is that most of these are getting very close to a bullish crossing. And we all can see the pattern when the 9 crosses the 30. Usually we see a really nice bullish candle precede that crossing. So I'm hoping that we're going to see that across the board on a lot of these altcoins. Icon is starting to climb back up. It's not looking as strong as some of the other altcoins. This one is still not above. Actually, you know, I'm sorry. That's a 6-hour time frame. It is above the 1 hour. And sorry, looking at the 1 hour time frame, it is looking really good. We're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles like NEO above the 9 EMA and climbing. A MACD looks great. RSI looks good. All of these alts are looking really, really good. Some of these do have gap lines that are going to act as resistance. This one has a double hurdle. It has not only an old gap line, but it has a 30 EMA that's falling parallel with the gap line. So this is going to be a really hard one, much harder to cross when you have these two obstacles in front of it. But everything so far is looking really good. And it's already an hour and a half into Asia trading. So it looks like Asia is pretty much telling us that it wants to see some upside. So all of this green here that we're putting in is a continuation from Asia opening an hour and a half ago. So that's a good sign. And they could drop it whenever they feel like it. But generally, when they want to drop it, they'll drop it, you know, right at the get-go. And it's looking good so far. IOTA, I started looking at IOTA because IOTA has been on a little bit of a downfall ever since it had this little bullish move to the upside last month. It kind of just went sideways, kind of just dropped off, and it's just having this drop. It hasn't really found a bottom just yet, so I think I would want to wait a little bit longer, but I'm starting to just keep my eye on it, looking for this bottom here, however. This bottom here is what I'm going to be looking for to see if we lose this support here, more likely we're going to land in here where we established a really good, strong support back here in December. So if we lose this, I'm going to anticipate picking up some here for a move to the upside. So I am looking at this one here at IOTA for that move there. I'm actually going to put an alert here. And I'm going to put an alert right below the 9, but above the price action. All right, perfect. On the smaller time frame for IOTA, you can see here where it looks just like a lot of the alts we're looking at right now. We are 5 hours above the 9 EMA, getting rejected and squeezed on that 30 EMA. MACD looks great. RSI looks good. All of these USDT pairs are looking almost the same. QDM is one that I haven't really touched in a while, but is in a great position. $1.85, guys. $1.85, and we're again 5 hours above the 9, approaching the 30. RSI bullish, MACD bullish, RSI bullish as well, and volume is starting to pick up. You can look here at the volume bar. So that's another one that I want to keep an eye on and look for, see what's going on. BNB has been on a run. I mean, what is it, like last month it was at $4, the high $4. It went all the way up to $7.22. Great run. Back down to 620. Looks like it's recovering nicely. However, we are not above the 9 EMA on this one here. So this is one of the few altcoins on the 1 hour time frame that we're not above. But if we look at the MACD, we're about to have a really nice bullish crossing here. So MACD is looking fabulous. Great correction. So keep that in mind, guys. This thing really had a bullish move, a really strong bullish move to the upside. So seeing a nice deep correction like that is really healthy for the price action. So let's look, actually, I want to put a fib on it. Let's put a fib extension and see what that retracement. Let's see what that retracement did. Nice, beautiful 618 fib retracement. So very, very nice retracement, very bullish. Actually, we went into the 786 Fibonacci level. So this is a great coin to which I did not take a position in this one here. I'm going to look into this for some more continuation to the upside. We did crack the 200 EMA on a 12-hour time frame. We closed 1 hour on that. Excuse me, one candle above that. So for 12 hours, we were above the 200 EMA. But we dropped down with Bitcoin, purged, nice retracement. Now I'm hoping that we continue this upside move. Let me look at something here, guys. I want to see if I can see a trend line that it might have respected. Let's see here if there's a trend line. This could be, I didn't quite touch it there, but this trend line seems like a line that it's been respecting. So the price action gets here, bounces off, comes back here, bounces off, comes back here, bounces off, and we almost made it back to this trend line. And you can see here where we bounced, we started bouncing back again. And this is the 12-hour time frame, so that's a really bullish move. Let's see if we can continue this move to the upside. I'm going to be looking into that coin as well. Looking at our last coin, ONT USDT, on the 1 hour time frame, not as bullish as the other ones. We've only been 2 hours above the 9 EMA. MACD is looking good. RSI is looking good, but we do need a little bit more momentum and some more time above the 9 EMA for me to feel a little bit more bullish on ONT. Let me at least look at the order book, see if there's any fuel. Yeah, not much going on. I don't think this is going to move too much. There's no sellers, and we know without these sellers coming in here, this is not going to move. No matter how much green we have, and we don't have a lot of green, but even if we did have a lot of green, with this looking the way it looks, this red section here, these sellers, it doesn't look like we're going to see much movement in the short term for ONT. All right, guys, this is going to end our first part of the Zoom session. And what we're going to do is that we're going to do these in 2 parts. The first part is going to consist of nothing but TA. And now the second part is going to consist of more TA, but I'm going to take requests from you guys. So I encourage you guys to go to the bottom of your participation box, click on the raise hand button, click on that. That'll alert my computer that you guys have a question. I'll take it live. If you're unable to speak, then please use the chat box inside of the Zoom application to post your questions on there, and I'll do my best to cover every single one of those questions before the end of our second part of our Zoom session. So I just got a raised hand by Techno, so let me grab his call. Give me 1 second. Hey, Techno, how are you?
I'm good. What's up, BC?
Oh, very good, my man. One other thing I forgot to mention to everybody while you and I are talking, if you guys want me to look at some coins, throw them inside the chat box, guys, and I'll take a look at those. So the second half is also going to revolve around requests and community questions and answers. So while I'm talking to Techno, if you guys want to post some of your coins in there, I'll be more than happy to look at them as well. What's going on, Techno? How was your weekend?
Good weekend. Good weekend.
Yep. Cool.
So
did you pick up any blood?
I did. Yeah, this morning. Talking about cliches running through your head, right? Let the trade come to you.
Yes.
And I just felt it this morning. So, and I did what you usually recommend. What's the term? Distribute, right? So basically a small position in diversify. Yeah. So I diversified among a few, and it's looking good right now.
Okay. Awesome.
So I wanted to ask you, I guess short term, what are you thinking short term? So you mentioned Lunar New Year starts February 5th, and then you said maybe about a couple weeks long. So are you saying it takes off after it ends or when it starts?
Mr. Mo, let me get Mr. Mo in on here. I think, I don't want to give you any misinformation. He follows it a little bit more closely than I do. Mr. Mo?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Good.
Does the Lunar New Year is it like a 2-week event, or is it just like in the U.S. where it's just an overnight event?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, JP was telling me on the chat it was last night, that they shut down for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, but historically, the Lunar New Year event is usually at the tail end of January, beginning of February. And when we look back the last 4 years, we kind of see that that's kind of a month where we do see some relief and we see a move to the upside. So let's see if we I think last year was the exception, went up 98% after we touched 20K. But the years before that, they were in the mid 40s. So you know what, even if it went up another 10, 20%, I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I don't remember, and I think this is what Techno's trying to find out: did it start right at the New Year? I mean, at the Lunar New Year, or did it happen after the whole?
The runs we saw both. You could see some of them start before the Lunar, the New Year kicks in.
Oh, okay, good.
And some after also. So I saw a combination, but that's why I said the month of February.
Okay, all right.
Reason
all right,
is
cool. And we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. It's January 28th.
So let me ask then, so is there a 2-week celebration leading up to the Lunar New Year?
No.
Sounded like.
No, what it sounds like that at the New Year, they take 2 weeks off. During that, so starting February 5th till February 15th, 16th, there's going to be not much activity going on, like for miners and things of that nature. A lot of the companies shut down.
Okay, because I thought that the activity would start around the 5th.
No, I think you're thinking of that festival in Rio de Janeiro. That starts 2 weeks before and then lasts for like 5 months afterwards. Those people know how to party.
Well, that's like Mardi Gras is like that, right? It's actually like 6 weeks long, and then Mardi Gras is the last day.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing. Okay, so I'll look at the charts because basically the question is about loading up. Do I load up on the 5th, or do I load up 2 weeks after the 5th when everybody gets back to business?
I think the best thing time to load up is just kind of look at the charts and feel, just make sure that you find a position, an area, a price that you're comfortable seeing it drop a little bit more.
Sure.
Historic, it's not a guarantee that we're going to run, but this is a game of probability. And we look at patterns. TA is all about patterns. And so if we've been able to see that same pattern repeatedly year after year after year, the probability is on our side. Just like gaps. When I play gaps, they're 91% probability. It's not 100%. But when we play those and when we stick to those rules, it seems to work out in our favor more often than not. So I would say, if we're starting to see a turnaround now, I'm not saying it's turning around now, but I mean, it's looking really bullish right now. We can still, drop another $200, but we can maybe start slowly recovering. So if we start seeing that slow recovery coming in, we might want to take some positions. I mean, put a stop loss if you feel like putting a stop loss. I'm not putting a stop loss only because I'm doing a swing trade. So I'm not looking for a day trade. I'm looking more for a swing trade. So my position that I'm going into now, I'm not getting out of it until I see BTC run that potential 10, 15, 20, 30%. That's where I'm holding, is for that type of term. So I'm looking more for like maybe a 3 to 4 week term. So when I'm buying for a 3 to 4 week term, my entries are going to be much, much different than if I'm going to do a scalp or a day trade. Obviously, those are going to be much tighter. I'm going to want to buy those, upon a confirmation to the upside. I'm going to be more worried about it dropping than anything else. And since I'm swing trading, I'm not too worried about the downside right now.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I'm just looking for kind of, pick your brain, general guidance, right? Because I took some really good positions this morning.
Good. What did you get?
Oh, boy. XRP, XLM, NEO, ONT, ICX, SV.
Okay, cool.
BCH.
Nice. Man, you went shopping this morning.
Yeah. No, I got like 7.
Good.
And like I said, diversify, leave some money on the side. Like,
Yes.
it's all about,
Yes.
it's all about willpower.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, well, those could be swing trades. And then, but then I was thinking about the alignment with the Lunar New Year, right? Because one of the things when Chart Vampire popped in here, right, and made an appearance like a month ago or something, he said something that really stuck in my head. And he said, trade the trend, scalp the bounce.
Yep.
Right. So this would be an opportunity to scalp the bounce because we all know what the overall trend here is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Trend is down.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of mulling that over, right? Or like, could I scalp this bounce in a couple days and then drop down more? At the end of the day, it's up to me, but I just wanted to kind of pick your brain on that.
Okay.
I think that's it, man.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate the participation. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 more people. I've got Crypto Barry and Mo Capital. So let me get Crypto Barry in here right now, and then I'll get to you right now, Mo Capital. Let me unmute here. All right. Hey Barry, how are you?
Hey, BC, good. How are you?
Good, thank you. How was your weekend?
It was good. Good. Was watching the screen, looking at the prices around.
Okay, awesome.
Did some shopping this morning.
Did you go shopping? Did you go shopping for altcoins?
I did last night actually. So
okay.
Late night last. Yes.
All right. Awesome.
So on this Chinese New Year, I was looking at the last year trend. So last year it was on February 19th, and the uptrend started like 10 days before.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I posted a chart also. I tagged you also. Not sure if you looked at it, I think.
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
So I posted a chart also and I tagged you on it.
Oh,
on
okay.
Discord. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the last time trend.
Did you just do that right now or earlier today?
No, I did it earlier during the day, I think.
I don't think I'll have to look at it. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll have to look at it.
Okay. Yeah, just what to do.
Okay, good.
Bring that up.
All right. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does this time work better for you for our Zoom sessions? Barry? He might have signed off.
Yeah, is it better?
Is it better for you? Okay, good. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Barry. Appreciate it. All right, let me get Mo Capital in here. Give me 1 second. Hey, Mo Capital, how are you?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
Oh, it's been okay.
All right, awesome.
Anyway, I just wanted to speak out a little bit on the whole lunar thing. I can tell you in my experience, they shut down, dude. I had mining gear that I bought from Bitmain sitting on the dock for 2 weeks because I bought at the exact wrong moment, and then I'm conversing with a UPS agent, trying to figure out my international shipping, and they're like, well, we can't do anything because nothing's moving. Wow. I don't know much about the price point at that point because I wasn't trading much at that time.
Yes.
But I will tell you that they absolutely shut down.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Everything shuts down, I'm like, wow, really? They take 2 weeks off? Imagine that. But they do. And it shuts and everything comes to a crawl. So I don't know what that really says about the price point and trading and stuff. Like I said, I wasn't doing much of that back then, but man, it's a door shutter.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, let me take a look at the chat box, guys, and let me see, and let me get to your guys' questions. Let me start from the top here. AK, how you doing? Good morning, Coin Cowboy. Crypto Analyst expecting Narcos 3 soon. Awesome. Wait a minute. Crypto Analyst, I think Narcos 3 is already out. If I'm not mistaken, I saw 3 already. There should be 3. I'm almost positive there's 3 narcos. What's up, fellas? What's up, Pac Boy? TRX9 about to cross the 9's about to cross the 200 on the 1 hour. Yeah, yes, that's bullish. Yes, that's very bullish. Let's take a look at it. On the 1 hour time frame. Let me get rid of this here. Let me move this window out of my way. Oh, I got so many windows here. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame. Yes, you can already see that candle. That candle starting to form here. That's a really nice move to the upside if you get that cross. That's looking good. That's looking good. Wow. Your tabs might. Techno says my tabs might need to be refreshed. I refreshed them before I started the Zoom session. But if there's anything out of doesn't seem right, let me know and I'll refresh them again. But I actually put up all new tabs right before our show. Possible bad news for XLM. Packboy just posted a link. Packboy, if you can do me a favor, if you could put that link inside of our Discord channel, a general group. Let me get to it as soon as I'm done here with the show. I'll take a look at it. But Packboy just said there might be some bad news coming up for XLM. I'm not sure what's that about, but take a look at that. We'll take a look at that. BC, your coverage is unmatched. So glad to be part. Thank you, Mo Capital. I appreciate that. Thank you. VS, BC, please check ZRX on USDT. Yes, I will. If you're saying USD, you must be meaning Coinbase. So let me look at that for VS. All right. Let me go here. GDAX. There we are. GDAX and ZRX USD. All righty. Oh, looking good on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, that's just the best chart we've looked at in the altcoins because we're already breaking above the 30 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. So all the other alts that we've seen, nothing has broken above the 30. Everything is getting rejected on the 30. We only stopped briefly once and we're able to break above it. Looking really good. What is it? VS, I think it was your name, sir. VS looking very, very good. Let's look at the little higher time frames. 6 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame first. Nice bullish. Looks like a possible bullish crossover here on the MACD. Nice little uptick on it. RSI, great position. We are getting rejected, however, on the 9 EMA on the 4 hour time frame, and we just opened half an hour ago. But the way the 1 hour is looking, if the 1 hour can keep up the same momentum, I'm pretty sure we're going to close above the 9 EMA as long as the momentum continues on that 1 hour time frame. Let's look at the 12 hour time frame. 12 hour time frame hasn't caught up yet, so the 12 hour time frame is still showing bearish, but because of this fall that it's had for the past day and a half, it's still reflecting that, even though we have some positive volume here. It takes a lot more momentum to move a 12-hour indicator, which is why I like looking at these higher time frame indicators, because these higher time indicators carry more weight to them. So when we start seeing a turn on a 12-hour or 1 day time frame, that is usually going to show a really nice bullish move, and the momentum is much stronger when looking at those higher time frames. So far the price action looks good. We have a reversal candle confirmation, but you guys know how I look at these 9 EMA as a very important EMA to cross for a continuation of that bullish move. So here looks very bullish candle pattern. Just want to see a break above that 9 for confirmation for me. So I hope that answers your question, VS. Let me look here. Donuts wants me to look at Theta, Binance, BTC. Look like it had a nice run. This is a 12-hour time frame. Let's look at the 1 hour. Let's start from the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame looking like it's recovering nicely. It's been above the 90 EMA for the past 4 hours. Hasn't reached the 30 just yet, but it's on its way there. It's having actually a bullish crossing between the 9 and the 200 EMA. but there's not a lot of momentum to the upside. Now, this is the thing that you have to keep in mind, guys. When you look at TA, you have to also take into account the type of coin that you're looking at. And what I mean by that is when you're looking at a coin that has a very low market cap and very low volume, the TA is going to work much differently than the TA on a coin that has larger volume and larger market cap. The crossovers, for instance, this crossover between the 9 and the 200 EMA is going to be much larger on TRX than it's going to be on a coin like this. And a coin like this, I don't even know what the volume is, the market cap is, but I'm sure it's not very much. It's 37 million compared to 2 billion on TRX. The volume might seem like a lot, guys, 4.7 million, but when you compare it to the top 10, where you're in, Ethereum has a $3 billion 24-hour volume. EOS has a 854 million. Bitcoin Cash, 315 million. Litecoin, 800 million. That other one, $4.7 million, is really nothing. So you also want to keep that into consideration when you're looking at TA on these coins here, because that is going to take, it's not going to give you the same type of outcome that you might be looking for on those crossovers like you do with the other time frames. I'm trying to find that chart that I was using. Did I X out of it? I must have X'd out of it. Wait, let me look in here. Oh, here it is. Oh man, I used my TRX chart. Oh well. So yeah, so right now it is looking good, Donuts. We're having, you're having that crossing, but it's going to take a little bit more time. Now there is some gaps you want to look out for resistance that are popping out at me right now. This is going to be one of them. Let me put the magnet on. So you got that gap there, and it already is acting as resistance there. You have another gap right here. So that's going to be another point of resistance. So you want to take a look at that and take those into consideration too as points of rejection for some pullbacks on those areas. Larger time frame on this, it's actually looking really good because it had a really nice retracement. So if we look at the 12-hour time frame and we put our fib level on here, you see a very, very nice retrace to the 786 fib level, also landed on the 30 EMA inside of the 786 level. So great bounce, great confirmation of that bounce right in here. Hopefully we'll see a continuation here. I'm not sure if this coin has any type of event or anything like that, but the fact that it had a really nice move to the upside, did a wonderful retrace of 786, and is still able to maintain the 200 EMA on the 12-hour time frame. Bullish, and bullish here. So looking good so far, Donuts. Let me look at some more here. D Gomez, sorry I'm late. Recap on ETH. You know what? I didn't even look at ETH. Let me look at ETH now that you brought it up. See what it looks like. I tell you, man, a new girl comes in town and I forget all about my long girlfriend, and my ETH has been my girlfriend for a couple of years now. Here comes my new girl comes around, and forget it. I just forget all about ETH. I don't even go through on our Zoom session. That's sad. Looking at let's see here. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame looking good in the sense that we were able to break above the 9 EMA. We're having a little small retrace here, a little pullback here, but hopefully it can hold. If it continues to come down, we want to make sure that it stays above that 9 EMA. As long as it can bounce off that 9 EMA and continue to the upside, that'll be great. You can see here where we got rejected right here on the 30 EMA. Let's look at the MACD. MACD looks great. nice bullish crossover there. The RSI is at 40 points. I don't care that it has a downtick. It's only showing the current candle state, so that's no big deal. What I'm more concerned about is the level of the RSI and exactly where it stands, and it's at 41 points. So that's looking good. The higher time frame's not looking too good, but that's expected, being that we just had this drop and we're barely starting to recover. We're not going to see that recovery show up on the higher time frames until we see some more bullish momentum. So looking good so far. Not great, but good. Let's see. What do we got here? Crypto last time it started 10 days before. I also posted a chart. Okay, yeah, Crypto Bear is talking about the Lunar New Year. It started 10 days before. Good. 10 days before is right about now then, guys. You figure the Lunar New Year is February 5th. So we're already January 28th. So we should start seeing some uptrend. Oh yeah, okay, so you saw the gaps, okay? Donuts just pointed out those gaps. I think those are probably the same ones that I pointed out earlier. All right, Crypto Siraj, the Lunar New Year is the biggest mass migration people in the world, as many people in China travel back to their hometowns. Is annual vacation where everything shuts down. Okay, yeah, so Crypto Siraj is pointing out that that Lunar New Year is one of the biggest mass migrations of people in the world, as many people in China travel back to their hometown. So it is their annual vacation where everything shuts down. So that kind of makes sense why everything is shut down. Everybody goes on vacation. They go back to their hometowns, visit. That's why it shut down for 2 weeks. So good to know. I didn't know why it shut down. So I thought it was about partying. It's actually a much better reason. They're going to visit family. And we know that in the Asian culture, I think one of the cultures that really embraces that family culture. Asians are very, very tight-knit community. Not only Asians, but I have a lot of friends that are Hindu, and they're very, very similar like that. I've got friends that they're Hindus and they have a ton of money, yet their uncles, their aunts, they all live in this humongous house, not because they can't afford their own homes, because of such a tight-knit type of culture that they have with their family members. It's really cool to see that how tight they are. Techno, interesting. Yes, 90% move. The 90% move up you referenced, BC, was okay. So Techno says that the 90% move up on Bitcoin was February 5th through the 19th of 2018, guys. So 5th through the 19th was when Bitcoin went up 90% on the Lunar New Year. The previous years before that, guys, it didn't do as well. It still did phenomenal. I mean, 40% is a great move for Bitcoin, but last year was the highest move on the Lunar New Year. Okay, Matt, you got it, Matt. He has to step out. Let's check out WTC. We'll check out WTC for Devin. Oh, WTC looking really good. Really, really good. Okay, nice recovery, nice support, nice break above the 9, nice sideways action, great bounce and break above the 30. This one looks even better than ZRX because now we went broke, closed for many hours above the 30 EMA, is about to have another crossover between the 9 and the 30, is getting currently rejected by the 50 EMA. So great recovery by WTC. Such a strong project too. Very, very strong project. 4-hour time frame, we're about to have a nice bullish crossover on the MACD. Is on the 4-hour time frame, I think this is the only altcoin that I saw that broke the 9 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. So great move on WTC. Very, very good. The only thing I don't like about WTC, and the only reason I'm not considering trading it right now, is because it doesn't have a USDT pair. I do not like trading Bitcoin, so that's the only reason. Other than that, I would be all over it. But those who do like trading Bitcoin pairs, This is definitely one to keep your eye on. Link. Let's look at Link for Mr. Hackendan. Wow, look at Link. Damn it. This thing does not come down. I'm really, this is the USDT chart. The reason I say damn it, guys, is because of this. Look at this chart on BTC. Hold on. Let me show you something. Look at that. This thing, I'm waiting for all of these gaps all the way down here to fill before I get into this thing. When I get into it, however, I am going to get into it on the USDT pair, but I need the BTC pair to come down and correct. But look at Link. Jesus, man, this is like TRX. This is just, it doesn't stop. There's no 20%. What is this, 1 day? Yeah. In the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 hours or so. 20%. Wow. This is going to be my second favorite coin. I'm telling you, man, Ethereum is going to be it's going to be riding the back seat soon. Right now, I got me in the driver's side. I got TRX next to me while I have my arm around her. ETH is sitting next to next to TRX on the front seat of my truck. And pretty soon, Link is going to be sitting there, and ETH is going to be in the back with my gun rack. So that's what's happening. Look, even as we speak, it's breaking through here. God, man, Link is a monster. What a great coin. I don't even know what it does, but it just looks great. Hackendan, curious, what does Link do? If you can give me just a quick, is it a platform coin? What is it? What does it do? Testnet, move further, post in general, NXS, please. Okay, NPXS. NPXS.
Well said, Hackendan.
What did he say? I didn't catch that. What did Hackendan say?
You were asking to know a little bit about Link.
What did he say?
It says, makes me money.
Oh, where is that? It's not in my chat box. It doesn't have that on my chat box. Huh. Are you reading that on Discord, or are you reading that on the chat box, Mr. Mo?
No, in our Zoom chat.
Oh, really? I didn't get that from him. Oh, there it is. Oh, there must be a lot of people putting, there it is, makes me money. Yes, that's all I care about, Hackendan. I'm just curious to see how did it just keep on going and going and going? I can't buy this top yet, but I'm going to get into it. I'm going to join you. Okay, what was I looking at? I was looking at, MPXS for, I think, Packboy, BTC. Oh, God, do I hate these patterns. I can't TA this, Packboy. These are one of the coins you can't TA. You can't TA bots. It's not organic. It's not natural. It's not going to follow. It's not going to follow the TA that we are used to looking at. It's just, it kind of throws TA out of the window, because none of this most of this is done by machines. So those bots is buying back and forth. These pushes here are not going to be by the bots. These are going to be for actual people, for some reason, start the momentum, and then people start following. But I can't give you really an opinion on something like this, because most of it still, look at this, in the past 4 or 5 hours, it's all bot trading. So there's not much I can tell you on this coin, NPXS. Let me look at the chat. Let me go back up here. Not sure if you already hold on. There was more up here. I want to make sure I cover everyone's questions. Link is doing good things. Just made a bullish crossover. Yeah, Mo Capital, incredible. I was waiting for that, BC. Now it's Trixie. Hey, BC, could you give me your thoughts on XLM for a swing trade and chat potential targets? Crypto Tony, I've been looking, I got into XLM and I want to get into more. I think just based on the fact that it's been dropping so much. I mean, there's only so much these high market cap coins drop before you see a nice strong bounce. And being that we're approaching that Lunar New Year, I'm expecting and the fact that it's going into Coinbase Pros, hopefully sometime soon. They haven't announced it yet, but it's one of the 2 coins still left. I want to load up for that bounce. If at least minimum for the Lunar New Year bounce. And XLM and XRP are always really good coins to have. When you see them drop to these lows, they're great to have on those bounces. So I like it. But I think somebody, I don't remember who it was, I think it was Packboy, just put out a link here on the group chat, something about bad news for XLM. So read it. I don't know what that is. Keep in mind that not all the news that you read online is true, but it's always good to see both sides. And if it is true, at least keep it in the back of your mind, before you go into it, and have as much information as possible. But I'll read that article when I get off of my Zoom session. Hopefully he posted that link inside of the Discord. Sure, if you already checked Zill. Crypto B man, I have not checked Zill, but I'll be more than happy to do it for you. Give me 1 second. Zill got rejected on the 200 EMA on the 1 day time frame. So that's a very big time frame and a very big EMA to crack. You can see here where we rejected, brought the price back down, tried it again, rejection, brought the price all the way back down, third time, brought the price off the rejection. So the good thing is, Crypto B, is that, look at this. When this started to run, it ran down here. Now it took all of this momentum to just break through all these higher time frames EMA. So there was no way it was going to break on this attempt here, expecting that. It came back down here on the 100 EMA. Now, this is still a pretty substantial move because we're looking at the 1 day time frame. Remember, these spaces between this 100 EMA and this 200 EMA is much, much greater on the 1 day time frame than on a smaller time frame. So this move got rejected. But now we're getting really, really close to the 200 EMA on this 9 EMA. So I'm very surprised that we didn't break on this one here, being that we're so close. So hopefully on the next try, we can break above it. If we can break above it, we're going to have a really nice run because there's no more EMAs to break through. And the next level of resistance is all the way up here. Look at that. That's going to be a beautiful run. If it can break above the above the 200 EMA on the 1 day time frame, you're looking at a free position right there, free position and then some, and some spare change on Zill if it can break above that 200 EMA and continue for a move to the upside. So actually, you know what? I think I might have been a little bit too optimistic. There's another area here. I'm sorry. Yeah, this area here would be a little bit more realistic before it gets to that. So that's still going to be about maybe a 70% push, 73%. So it's still good. Still a great day. Still a great swing trade because something like this won't happen in 1 day. Typically it won't because again, we're looking at the 1 day time frame. 1 day time frame is the type of time frame we look at when we do swing trades. So those swing trades will still yield you quite a bit of money if you have some patience and you let this play out. But we need to see a break above that 200 EMA. Now let's look at a smaller time frame, the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, you can see the correction here, this drop with Bitcoin now recovering nicely above the 9 EMA. Was able to break through the 30, but not able to close above the 30. We were able to make it all the way to the 100 EMA before we got rejected and closed right on that 30. So currently looking good. MACD looking good. Nice bullish crossover. Plenty of room. It's still way below the bearish side of the oscillators here. So lots of room for another move to the upside on Zill. Looking good right now, especially for especially since we got that bounce. So that's what's looking really good here. The fact that we were able to break, we got a rejection, but now we're bouncing back on the strong rejection. We're bouncing above the 9 EMA, and we didn't lose a 9 EMA. So as long as we can maintain a close and a continuation, even if it's sideways, as long as we hold at 9 EMA, we're going to be good. This just opened. It's right on the 9 EMA. So keep a close eye on it. Make sure that we head up above the 9 EMA on that 1 hour time frame for ZIL. Let's look at Randolph. Okay, yes, good families. That is cool. Big news on WTC, ICE, and basket. March listed, announced, back. Phillips, something about some big news going on with WTC. Hackendan, yes, Hackendan. Link BTC has a lot more history to it. And that's what I'm looking for on the Bitcoin side of Link. I'm waiting for all those gaps on the Bitcoin side to come down, fill, before I get in on Link on the USDT pair. Make some money, payment. Oh, it's a payment gateway. So Link is a payment gateway. Did not know that. And connects the real world to smart contracts. Okay, it's a decentralized Oracle, a Texas crypto guy. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think of it, a Texas crypto guy really has follows a lot of links. So yeah, he would know a lot of information about it. Decentralized Oracle. Awesome. You're welcome, Pack Boy. Crypto Tony says that the news doesn't look too bad, so it should be fine. I thank you. I appreciate that. A quick rundown on that. REIT Stellar been dumping from own wallet to pay for project. Okay. By the way, Link was painting a bull. Link was painting a bull flag on the daily 12-hour time frame. Broke through on the push. Okay, good. Can you look at LTC? JDM, let me ask you a question. And I'm not trying to put LTC down. I'm asking you a serious question just out of my own curiosity. I don't trade LTC, especially since Charlie Lee dumped it and he doesn't even want it. And he even said he's not buying it. And today I saw somebody posted something on Discord that even Charlie Lee says that he expects LTC to go all the way down to $4. He still has no faith in LTC. Are you trading LTC for short term, or are you one of those? I see a lot of people that are like super bullish on LTC, and yet the founder doesn't even want it. That's like saying Tron. That's the same Justin saying, you know what, I'm dumping all my Tron, and I don't want to have nothing to do with Tron, and Tron's going to go to sub 1 penny. I cannot imagine people will continue to buy Tron. So thinking of it like that, are you doing a short term? Okay, so you're not really a big supporter. There's a lot of people out there that really support LTC. So I was wondering if you're one of them, if that news from Charlie Lee impacted you in any way. When I saw that, man, I feel sorry for a lot of those hardcore Litecoin people that I see on Twitter that really feel like Litecoin's going to change the world. And I don't know. I don't see that happening, but if that's what they want to believe, I got to respect it. Let me look here. Litecoin had a nice little move up here. You know what? I'm not even going to put a fib on it because we're just barely recovering. So I'm not really too worried about a fib just yet. I'm more looking at this here. So 1 hour time frame looks decent, looks good. Looks like all the other altcoins that we saw for the most part. We're able to break above the 9. We're getting rejected by the 30. Very similar to a lot of these altcoins. I'm sure the MACD is going to look good. Yep, MACD had a nice bullish crossover, pointing bullish. RSI is about 40, 45. Yeah, not looking too bad. The only thing, the volume is not looking too good. But as long as we're able to sustain a price action above the 9 EMA on LTC, that's good. One of the things that I will say that's, I guess, positive, if you want to say, on LTC is that Charlie Lee posted this early this morning, and we did not see a big dump of LTC. I would figure if Charlie Lee said that about LTC, we would see a much greater dump than that. So I guess that's one positive thing that I can see on LTC, that we didn't see a big dump. Short term, Crypto Siraj, LRC and MFT. Hey, Crypto Siraj, I got to ask you, do you ever sleep? You're always on Discord. No matter what time of day and night, I see your light on. No matter what time I do a Zoom session, you're on. Do you have trouble sleeping? I'll look for your response here on the Zoom chat. Man, I gotta say, I thought I had inside. I thought I had trouble sleeping. LRC looks great. Loop. I don't know what loop ringing does, but looks good. It's breaking above the 30 EMA. Very few coins are doing this. This one is doing it. So very, very good. It's 7 minutes into this candle. So let's see if we can make it at least up to the 50. But looking at LRC, it's looking good. What's the other one you wanted me to look at? MFT. Mo Capital says he uses Litecoin to move fiat. See, I use Ethereum. So I use Ethereum to move fiat. I love Ethereum for that. It's quick, cheap. I've never used LTC to move a fiat, however. I wonder, have you used, Mr. Mo Capital, have you used ETH to move fiat? If you have, is it faster and cheaper than Litecoin? I'm wondering, because it's really fast with Ethereum. MFT. Oh, that bot trading. Kind of the same thing, Crypto Siraj. When looking at this one here, just like the other coin that somebody had me look, with Theta, it's hard to TA this. Very, very difficult to TA a coin that's run by bots. There's no organic movement here. And remember, TA measures markets, and markets are composed of of humans and brokers and people. It's a lot of human psychology goes into it. There's no human psychology when you're trading in bots. So it's very, very difficult to really TA this, to be honest with you. It's 81 Satoshis. I remember when, who was it? Northwest was trading it, and it went all the way to like 170 Satoshis. So, I mean, there's a possibility that we can get up there again, but looking at this, I can't really make an assessment. I can't really make a really honest, I'll give you an honest answer when most of this is done by bots. It's not done by market psychology. So kind of the TA is kind of out the window on it. That's really all I can tell you on this one. Okay, so guys, so just so you know, MFT has a platform release on February 15th. So that is something that you're going to want to use more than TA to see a coin like this move. That's a very, very good announcement. That's a positive announcement. So for you guys that want to trade something like this, this would be the time to get in on a coin like this when it's nice and low at 81 Satoshis. This ran in November up to here. It went up to 100. I went up to 184 Satoshis. And this had some news too. I'm not sure what FA made this move, but I know we had a member of our group, Northwest, he bought it down here. He bought it at even lower. I think he bought it down here and was able to really maximize this run. So now we're back at it again. MFT has some bullish news coming up in about 17 days, 18 days. So you guys are going to want to pay attention to MFT if it starts to move up again. I'm actually going to put an alert. If it breaks above the 50 EMA, I might take a small position, even though it's on Bitcoin and I hate it, only because of the FA news surrounding it. And I saw this thing move hard in November. So I am not going to discount this coin, especially since we have some bullish move. A platform release is a very bullish move, a lot more than like a test net, because a platform release is an actual product that's coming out. So that's right along with the mainnet release. Platform release, I think, is even more bullish than a mainnet release. So just keep that in mind, guys. Yes, DGB is the fastest, and I know that from experience. I used to move back in the day when I was in Bittrex. When I used to trade Bittrex, I moved a lot of fiat around on DGB, and it is instant. Put it this way: when I moved it, I moved a ton of money from Bittrex to Binance, and I moved it using DGB. By the time I opened up my browser and went to hit Binance and hit refresh on Binance, it was already in there. And it wasn't even pending. It wasn't pending. It was in my wallet. That's how fast DGB was. So yes, I forget all about that. OB1, that is the fastest coin that I've seen with transaction times is DGB. I forgot about that. Is smoke? Yeah, old school. I guess he's done it too. He says it's smoking fast. I remember Mo Capital remembers that MFT move. Yeah, I missed out on that, Mo Capital. I didn't get into that move, so I'm glad Crypto Siraj made me aware of that, because I do want to get into it on this move here. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to put my alert a little bit sooner. I want to see it when it actually crosses right there. I'll put a small bag on it. No, you're right. You're right. I did not. It wasn't on DJ. I moved it to something else. What was it that I moved? I moved it to a wallet. I moved a lot of money on DGB, but not on Binance. I want to say it was Jake's. What is it? Jake wallet? It wasn't Jake. Hold on. There's a wallet. Mr. Mo, what was that wallet that I used where I thought I got hacked and you helped me figure out that it wasn't hacked?
Was that an early version of Jax?
Jax, that's it. I think it was Jax wallet. I used to use online wallets, and it was one of those wallets. But DGB is the fastest moving coin that I used, moving DGB around. But I'm not 100% if it was Jax. I used several different wallets back in the day until I got I called Mo. Mr. Mo one morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, screaming that I got hacked, and Mr. Mo had to calm me down. And of course, he took over my computer and figured out that I wasn't hacked. There was a glitch going on Jack's wallet size on their side, and my coins were safe. But it was the worst feeling ever in my life. It was horrible feeling knowing that you got jacked. And it was quite a bit of money. It was like $4,000. Wasn't it like $4,000, Mr. Mo, something like that? It felt awful. It felt awful. Even $100 will feel awful if you got jacked. You must have been yes, OB1. I was crapping my pants. I was talking a million miles an hour. Mr. Mo is like, he's always calm and relaxed, and no matter any situation, and he's just like, cousin, start from the beginning. All right. This is what happened. He's like, cousin, call me back in 20 minutes when you calm down. And finally, I had to call him back, and he fixed the problem for me. So yeah, a desktop version got hacked. Simon, no, they did get hacked, but my issue wasn't because of the hack. My issue was there was a glitch on their side. Their desktop wasn't updating at the same time the mobile app version was. So when I did it, I forgot. I think it was on my desktop. It didn't refresh on my mobile, and it didn't show my coins. So I thought that I was hacked, but it was safe, and it was very scary. Yes, Simon, very, very scary. All right, guys, I don't have any more raised hands. I don't have any more questions. So I'm going to go ahead and end this session of our Zoom. Thank you. A lot of new faces. I'm so happy to see a ton of new faces. I got Anthony, B.S. Hawad. I got Crypto B-Man, Crypto Berry. I've seen you a few times on our other one, but I think this is a better time for you. Devin, Thor, Hackendan. I love seeing my buddy Hackendan. He's one of the original members. He's able to make it on this time because it's closer to the end of workday here in Arizona. So that's great. Jay, good to see you. Old school, Ryan, Obi-Wan he's in all of them. No matter what time, I can do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Obi-Wan's always on, just like Crypto Siraj. Who do we got? Stephanie is back with us again. Good, good. Sunny is a new one. VS, another new one. Great to see you guys, man. Thank you so much for making joining us and making the show very interesting. You guys have a wonderful day. Mr. Mo, did you want to add anything before I close it up?
No, let's wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Go and